from straight away. Again!
Welcome back, you guys, and I hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be talking about the NBA player who was a part of 2 championship teams in his first 2 years, but is currently out of the NBA, and that guy's name is Norris Cole, who is most known for being one of the rotation players for the Miami Heat during the Bosh, LeBron, and Wade era. This isn't about an NBA player who made a few All-NBA teams, but somebody that had an interesting NBA career that was cut shorter than I thought it would. The NBA regular season is coming to a close in less than 2 months, and if you're in the same boat as Norris Cole and want to see a game, then I would definitely recommend checking out the app SeatGeek, who I want to thank for sponsoring this video. I've used the app before to see Spencer Dinwiddie and the Brooklyn Nets playing a game that I had a lot of fun at, and the app isn't just for sports, they have other events too. I've also used it to see Kendrick Lamar perform, so that was really fun. What SeatGeek does is it puts tickets together from all over the world in one location, and then they give those tickets a rating out of 100, so if it's green then it's a good deal, if it's red then you know it's bad. My favorite feature is that you're able to see what your seats look like before you purchase them. If this is something you'd be interested in, the link to the SeatGeek app will be in the description, and to get $20 off your first ticket purchase, you can use my code CAINE at the checkout. So if there's another NBA player you want me to do a what happened to their career for, don't hesitate to drop it in the comments. So let's talk about Norris Cole's career. Norris Cole is a 6'2", 175-pound point guard that had a really accomplished college career that helped bump him up the draft boards in 2011. In his senior year at Cleveland State, Norris Cole won Horizon League Player of the Year and Horizon League Defensive Player of the Year. The Bulls drafted him in the first round that year, but he was eventually traded to the Miami Heat. It was cool for him to get drafted to Miami because LeBron was Norris Cole's favorite player, and he took advantage of that opportunity on a championship team right away. In his second game ever, Norris Cole came off the bench and scored 20 points, dished out 4 assists, and picked up 3 steals in a 116-108 win over the Boston Celtics.
Back out, especially against this team. And he is not shy.
The game wasn't decided by LeBron, Wade, or even Bosh making shots in the fourth quarter. It was by their first round pick who no one knew anything about. Cole scored 14 of his 20 points in the fourth quarter, and he hit 3 jumpers in the most important part of the game.
Miami really hasn't had a lot of athleticism. They've had mostly standstill jump shooters. And now the crowd.
I remember this moment very clearly because it was in the beginning of the lockout year. A lot of people were saying, wow, this guy could possibly be the starting point guard for the Heat in the near future. Some people were kind of mad that the Bulls traded this guy to the Heat and how it was such a great pickup for their championship run. The Norris Cole hype was real during this time. The thing I remember the most about Norris Cole's first year in Miami is him getting away with murder on live television. He and Mario Chalmers participated in the death of Linsanity on February 23rd, 2012. You guys remember earlier in the year when Patrick Beverley made Lonzo Ball's NBA debut a nightmare? Well, Jeremy Lin's experienced something similar to that against Chalmers and Norris Cole 5 years earlier. They were full court pressing Lin on some possessions so he couldn't comfortably dribble up the court and start the offense. They got into his chest, closed off his dribbling angles, and overall just made Jeremy Lin's life hell that night. The Miami Heat that night reminded me of all the AAU basketball teams that I played against that full court pressed you the whole game and tried to intimidate you on defense. It really felt like that watching.
7 assists against the Lakers. Oh, the steal as Lin had it taken out of his hands by Cole.
Cole was a decent defender during his time in Miami, but this particular game versus Lin and the Knicks was probably his peak as an on-ball defender. Norris was really fast moving side to side, so that he could rely on him to check the other team's point guard. Overall, he finished the season averaging 7 points, 2 assists on 39% shooting, and moving on to the postseason, his biggest moment was when he hit 2 3-point shots in 8 minutes of play against the Thunder in Game 4. Even though he didn't play too much in that series, winning a ring in your first year is a great start to your NBA career. In his second season, Cole got his shooting percentage numbers up to 42% overall and 35% at the 3-point line. In the playoffs, he had back-to-back 18-point games against the Bulls.
Lines up a 3, knocks it down, Norris Cole!
And 2 playoff rounds later, he'd be a part of a second championship team in his second season. That's a really great start to your career. Cole would have his moments in the next few years, but I would say his rookie year and his second year was his peak as a player. He got worse as a defender, ball handler, and 3-point shooter. He's not somebody that is going to break down a defense off the dribble, so if he's not playing good defense or hitting threes, it's hard to keep him on the court for that long. He regressed as a player going into the 2014 season, and his time in Miami was slowly coming to an end. Moving on to the 2014-2015 season, his final year with the Heat, and it just wasn't working out for him that year. He had started in the first game versus the Wizards, but it went downhill after that. Over the first 3 months of the season, he was shooting around 25% from the three-point line. The Heat traded him at the 2015 deadline to the Pelicans, and he actually played kinda well in the last 2 months. Cole became the starter after Jrue Holiday suffered an injury, and he had a 16-point game against the Warriors in the playoffs. He would play one more year with the Pelicans for the 2015-2016 season, and his basic average looked pretty decent, but he had a true shooting percentage of 46, which is pretty bad. The league average for true shooting is around 55%, so he's well below what everyone else was shooting, not to mention he was also regressing as a defender, as I mentioned earlier. No NBA team thought to sign Cole that summer, so he signed with the Golden Stars of the Chinese Basketball Association, but they released him after 9 games. He'd have one more shot in the NBA, and that was with the Thunder. OKC needed a backup point guard, and they signed him before the 2017 playoff run, but he did not help much. In 13 games, he shot 30% from the field and shot 23% from the three-point line. And going into the 2017-2018 year, the Hornets actually brought him in for a workout, but nothing came from that, and he signed a 1-year deal with the Maccabi Tel Aviv of the EuroLeague, and that's what he's doing right now. When you play on a team with LeBron and D Wade on it, you're going to be remembered for that, and I always wondered what happened to Norris Cole, so I decided to make a video on it. I did think he would play a little bit longer though, just off the strength of him being a member of those championship teams, but he regressed as a player. Norris was a part of 2 championship teams and had his jersey retired at his college, so his basketball career was pretty successful. Question for this video: do you think Norris Cole will make a return back to the NBA? I appreciate it if you're still here. Shout out to everybody who subscribed and supports the videos. I have a few more what happened to this NBA player videos coming soon, so be on the lookout for that, and I'll see you guys in my next one.